Good evening. I'm Kenneth Mendoza, the speaker of today. We're gonna discuss about food hygiene and control. Okay. So food hygiene. Food is a potential source of infection and liable to contamination by microbes at any point during its journey from the producer to the consumer. Food hygiene may be defined as a sanitary science which aims to produce food which is safe for the consumers of good keeping quality. It covers a wide field and includes the rearing, feeding, marketing, and slaughtering of animals as well as the sanitation procedure designed to prevent bacteria of human origin reaching foodstuff. Okay. Food hygiene in its widest sense implies hygiene in the production, handling, distribution, and serving. WHO 1984 has defined food hygiene as all conditions and measures that necessary during production, processing, storage, distribution, and preparation of food to ensure that it's safe, wholesome, fit for human consumption. The primary aim of food hygiene is to prevent food poisoning and other foodborne illness. Food control. The objective of food control has three aspects: the economic, the aesthetic, and the public health. Different branches of food hygiene include milk hygiene, meat hygiene, fish hygiene, and egg hygiene, hygiene of vegetable and fruits, food handlers hygiene, sanitation of eating place. So, milk hygiene. Milk is an efficient vehicle for a great variety of disease agents. Milk get contaminated by various sources like odor, utensils, personal hygiene of the handlers, storage environment, water, and etc. Okay. Clean milk and safe milk. First essential is a healthy and clean animals. Second, the premises where the animals is housed and milk should be sanitary. Milk vessels must be sterile and keep covered. Water supply should be bacteriologically safe. Meat hygiene. The disease which may be transmitted by eating unwholesome meat are like tapeworm infestation, Tinea sagittariana, Trichinella spirosis, and Fasciola heptaki. Microbial infection, actinomycosis, and tuberculosis, and food poisoning. Meat inspection. Animal intended for slaughter are subjected to proper mortem and post-mortem inspection by qualified veterinary staff. Meat inspection is a very important process before being accepted or rejected. Good meat qualities. It should be neither pale pink nor or a deep purple tint. Firm and elastic to touch. Should not be slimy. Have an agreeable odor. So, slaughterhouse hygiene. Hygiene of slaughterhouse is important to prevent contamination of meat during the process of dressing. There is a Model Public Health Act 1955 in India which standardizes on the location, structure, disposal of waste, water supply, examination of animals, storage of meat, transportation of meat, and miscellaneous other activities connected to the meat processing. Slaughterhouses, preferably away from residential areas. Floors and walls up to 3 feet should be impervious and easy to clean. Disposal of waste, blood, offal should not be discarded into public sewers but should be collected separately. So water supply should be independent, adequate, and continuous. Fish hygiene. Fish deteriorates or loses in freshness because the autolysis which sets in after death and because of the bacteria with which they become infected. Stale fish should be The sign of fresh fish. It is the state of stiffness or rigor mortis. The gills are bright red. The eyes are clear and prominent. Tin fish hygiene. Inspection of tin fish. The tin must be new and clean without leakage or rusting. There should be no evidence of having tampered with such as sealed openings. On opening the tin, the content should not blown out, which indicates decomposition. So this is the example of tin fish hygiene. So, egg hygiene. Although the majority of freshly laid eggs are sterile inside, the shell becomes contaminated by fecal matter from the hen. Microorganism includes pathogenic salmonella can penetrate a cracked shell and enter the egg yolk, leading to the spoilage. Eggs can also be pasteurized to increase the shelf life. So, excuse me. Fruits and vegetable hygiene. Vegetable and fruits host many pathogens like bacteria, fungi, protozoan, which can enter the plant materials during or after harvesting. General proper washing and sanitation are employed to increase shelf life and product safety. Freshly harvested products are routinely washed to remove soil, pesticide reduce insects, plant debris, and microbes. Hygiene for food handler. Food sanitation rests directly upon the state of personal hygiene and habits of the person working in food industries. Excuse me. Thank you. So, the infection which are likely to be transmitted by the food handlers are diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid and paratyphoid fevers, enteroviruses, viral hepatitis, protozoasis, eggs of helminths, and streptococcal and staphylococcus infections and salmonellosis. The WHO 5 keys to safer food. Food safety principles that all food handlers should follow. So, keep clean. Number 2, separate raw and cooked food. Number 3, cook food thoroughly. And number 4, keep food at safe temperatures. And number 5, use safe water and raw materials. So, keep clean. Wash your hands and all surfaces that come into contact with food. Number 2, separate raw and cooked food. Keep raw meat, poultry, and seafood separate from other foods. Number 3, cook food thoroughly. Cook food to 70 degrees Celsius to kill most microorganisms. Number 4, keep food at safe temperatures. Avoid storing food between 5 and 6 degrees Celsius, especially at room temperature. Use safe water and raw materials. Wash fruits and vegetables with safe water. So, rules for food handling. Medical examination carried out of all food handlers at the time of employment. Any person with history of typhoid fever, chronic dysentery, tuberculosis, or any communicable disease should not be employed. Person with wounds, skin infection should not be permitted to handle food or utensils. The day-to-day health appraisal of the food handlers is also equally important. Those who are ill should be excluded from food handling. So, Any illness which occurs in food handlers, family should not once be notified. So, education of food handlers is in matters of personal hygiene, food handling, utensils, dishwashing, and insect and rodent control is the best means to promoting food hygiene. Personal hygiene to be promoted. So first is hands. The hands should be clean at all times. Scrub and wash with soap and water immediately after visiting a laboratory. Nails to be kept trim and free from dirt. Hair to provide covering to the head. Overalls, clean white overalls to be worn by all food handlers. So habits, coughing and sneezing in the vicinity of food, licking the fingers before picking up an article of food, smoking on food premises are to be avoided. So this is sample. They're wearing a hairnet. They look uh, using personal hygiene. Adulteration of foods. Adulteration of foods consists of a large number of practices, maximum substitution, abstraction, concealing, and quality putting on decomposed food for sale, misbranding, or giving labels and addition of poisons. Some forms of adulterations are injurious to health. Adulteration of mustard oil with argemone oil. But for the most part, food adulteration has an economic rather than a sanitation significance. Addition of the water to milk. Food control. The regulatory activity enforced by national or local authorities to provide consumers protection and ensure that all foods during production, handling, storage, processing, and distribution are safe, wholesome, and fit for human consumption, confirm the safety and quality requirements, and are honestly and accurately labeled and prescribed by law. So, this is like Food Safety and Standards Act 2016. So, Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954, Fruits Product Order 1955, Meat Food Products Order 1973, Vegetable Oil Products Control Order 1947, Edible Oils Packaging, and Solvent Extended Oil, Milk and Products Order, any other order under essential commodities. Okay. So, food standards. Alimentarius is a collection of international food standards prepared by Alimentarius Commission. Indian standards are based on this. So HACCP, hazard, in short, hazard analysis and critical control points. The HACCP system, which is science-based and systematic, identities specific hazard and measures for other control to ensure the safety of food. HACCP is told to assess hazard and establish control systems that focus on prevention rather than relying mainly on end product testing. Okay, so HACCP 7 principles for food safety. So first is analyze hazard, identify critical control points, establish critical limits for each critical control point, establish monitoring procedures, establish corrective actions, establish verification activities, establish records and documentation. So that's all. Thank you.